What challenges with money do people face when they're new to the country?
When people are new to the country, they're not familiar with the kind of money that we use. Some of the young people that we work with will have used other types of money before. Some of the young people that we work with might not have used money before, or it might be that their parents have had control of money and so they're not familiar with budgeting, they're not familiar with the different coins and notes that we use. They don't know when they're going to the shops if they're getting the correct change, or if they're paying too much for example, a packet of chewing gum. Also, sometimes young people, when they first arrive, they're not really that accustomed to cooking, or sometimes they're placed in hotel accommodation where they don't have cooking facilities, and what that means is that young people are spending money on takeaways when actually it's much cheaper to cook a meal from scratch on your own.
Okay. What problems have you found people having when they're new to the country?
Well, when people are new to the country, they're often very disorientated when they first arrive, and their immediate concerns are with their safety. So very often when young people first arrive in the country, they don't know sometimes that this is a safe place. They don't know that there are people here to protect them, to help them with their problems. Sometimes, well, usually they wouldn't know that the police in this country are here to keep them safe, and they wouldn't know how to contact the police or emergency services if they had to. Often they're having difficulty sleeping, and they're having difficulty just adjusting to a new life in the UK.
Okay. How can people get support from your service?
Well, we work with young people who are referred to us who are under the age of 18. We will work with them beyond 18 if they need that, but we work with young people who arrive in the country without a parent or a guardian to look after them. Often they're referred to us by social services or by their lawyer, sometimes by Scottish Refugee Council when they first arrive and present at Scottish Refugee Council.
Oh, okay. How do you support people?
Well, often what we do is when we first start working with young people, they don't know their rights, they don't know that they're safe, and sometimes it's very difficult to learn new things if you are not feeling safe, if you're disorientated, if you're not sleeping properly. And the young people that we work with, they're not just in a new country, a whole new country, but that they're having to deal with legal processes like claiming asylum, or sometimes learn that the adults who are working them think that they've been trafficked, and so it's really a lot for young people to take in. Often they're not familiar with things like confidentiality, so we work with young people to try and make sure that they understand all of the things that they need to know, to make sure that they understand what the different adults in their life are going to do to help them begin to feel safe in the UK, to help them begin to make friends in the UK, and also to learn some of the little things that they might need to know to be able to get by. So some of the young people we've worked with haven't known how to tell the time, so they've not known how to get to their appointments on time. Sometimes they're not familiar with money, or they're not familiar with the money that we use. So there have been times where we have helped young people to understand what value the different coins and notes are. And sometimes we will ask the residential workers to help out with that, so if we identify that that's a problem. But quite often with the young people that we work with, I think they find it difficult to express what their problems are when they first arrive, because they're so overwhelmed with everything that's going on in their life.
Yeah, alright. Do you think we need more support within Glasgow?
I do think that young people could be doing with more support, yeah. I think when you first arrive in this country, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to take on board. A lot of the things that people who've lived here for a long time take for granted, young people are having to learn how to do. So they're having to learn lots of different bus routes. I also think that young people could be doing with a bit more in terms of opportunities to get involved in social activities.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, that's amazing. What is the biggest challenge you face in your work?
I think the biggest challenge that I face in my work is working with young people who don't know their rights, and who often don't want to complain about things, and it's, you know, some of the young people that I work with are so thankful for having a roof over their heads, and for having people who will help them. And for me, the challenge is actually drawing out from young people what their needs are, because most people, when they first arrive, they will say, I'm okay, I just want to go to college, and actually they need a lot more than just having to go to college and make friends.